Today, I'm giving you the cheat code to a fully autonomous AI agent that handles all your sales research homework. This AI agent replicates your deepest, most tailored research on any prospect or company. It connects to LinkedIn, Apollo, Google, and any third-party database you choose. It doesn't just pull all available information online. It also connects the dots between each prospect's needs and wants, recommending the best strategies and best talk tracks for your outreach. It runs in bulk on thousands of leads for less than 20 cents per lead, saving you hours of manual research work. And it packages everything into an in-depth report that your AI BDR can use to launch hyper-personalized email campaigns. Now let's dive in. Today, I will show you how you can create an AI agent using Relevance AI that can replicate any custom research process that you have. So you can imagine replicating Perplexity's or OpenAI's or Grok's deep research, but in a highly custom manner using third-party tools as well. So this agent will have the ability to visit other third-party tools as well, connect to Apollo, for example, or scrape LinkedIn. Perplexity or OpenAI don't have this functionality. Now, you can also upload a CSV and run this in bulk, so you can scale this infinitely. And this is going to be important because zooming out, the context here is that this research agent, this sales strategist, is part of a larger multi-agent system. And in previous videos, I talked about this multi-agent system. We have two agents here, an AI BDR, that is the parent agent that's responsible for feeding the contacts into the sales strategist. And when the sales strategist, the research agent, comes back with an in-depth research report, the AI BDR is going to use a tool to generate a hyper-personalized cold email sequence and kick them off in Smart Lead. So it also handles the lead flow. And in my other videos, we've gone through the enrichment piece here. So you can feed this whole system with a contact that only has the first name, last name, and company name. Just imagine these are separate columns in a CSV. You can trigger this multi-agent system from your CRM, from HubSpot or Salesforce, or your third-party data tool like Clay, Make.com, or Zapier. It's your choice. And when the system gets triggered, the AI BDR will trigger the sales strategist that does a contact enrichment and company enrichment as well. So it finds the right contact and company, LinkedIn, and website details on Google. So later, it can do an in-depth research to find relevant social proof in our own knowledge base, matching the most relevant and best lookalike companies we worked with the prospect that we're going to send a cold email to. It has the ability to search on Google, to scrape websites, LinkedIn, to visit Apollo or any other third-party database. I'm visiting Apollo here because I want to see the technologies that this prospect company is using. And it also has the ability to find open job positions on LinkedIn. So eventually, it's able to do a go-to-market analysis, understanding the prospects and the company's business objectives, finding their customers so we can reference them later in our cold email, find recent events, announcements, whether it's about growth, funding, or AI initiatives that I personally care about, because I want to message these people using the right personalization hooks. It's also going to synthesize the data, the prospects' jobs to be done. And finally, it collects everything together. It synthesizes into an in-depth research report, and then it passes back to the AI BDR. We're using Relevance AI for this. This is Tony, the AI BDR. The trigger comes in with the contact name and the company name, and the AI BDR delegates to the sales strategist. So we trigger the sales strategist with this instruction, research about this prospect and their company, and conclude their jobs to be done with AI GTM Lab. You can just replace with company name. And the sales strategist will do 16 steps to first enrich this prospect, then visit the contact's LinkedIn profile to scrape their LinkedIn posts and to scrape the contact's profile. It's going to do the same on the company level. So it visits the company and it scrapes everything on the company profile. And then it also extracts the company's recent LinkedIn posts. It does a Google search with these terms here. So Gong, expansion or growth initiatives or investment or product releases or raise. Just notice that the agent was able to construct this high quality Google search keyword based on this description that says a really high quality search prompt and then explains how to use the quotation marks. Then it selects a website from the Google search result. This is how the Google search results look like. We have the title, the date, the link, and a snippet. And the agent is going to reason for what is the best website that it should now scrape based on the snippet and based on the title. That is going to grab the right link, and it's going to put the link into the extract website content tool. In this case, this is the one it selected. This article is related to an R&D center expansion, which is interesting. The agent decided to use that, and it scrapes the website content and summarizes the website content. Credit cost is 0.6. And if we repeat the Google search and the website scrape with different search queries, in this case, it's about new product releases. It scrapes the website again and then does the next search, which is Gong customers. So this is the search term that it types into Google, and these are the search results. And again, it selects one website to scrape, and then it's going to scrape that website. The website it found was Gong surpasses 4,000 customers. So this is a press release on Gong.io's website. So this is going to be of high quality. So I'm happy that the agent actually extracted this website here. We'll see that ADT, Indeed, LinkedIn, Snowflake, Zillow are all Gong.io customers. So the agent is going to be able to use these insights directly in the cold emails later down the line, which I'll show you how in a second. Then it finds LinkedIn job posts. It's going to be a specific scraper. We can zoom into that tool later. And it will focus on Gong.io's open job positions. We see all the job titles here, like senior backend engineer, senior customer support, and there are 5 pages here. And if you pass this whole table to the agent, and when the agent creates an in-depth research report, it's going to synthesize this whole table based on my other instructions, because I don't care about the senior backend engineer. I only care about sales and marketing folks that are being hired, because that's the angle I can come in with. Then it will visit Apollo to get the company technologies. It simply uses the company website, and it returns every single technology that this company uses. In later videos, I will zoom into this tool here to show you how we get an LLM to post-process and to raw data that we receive from Apollo and categorize these technologies under these categories here. And then we analyze the website visually. So this tool will take a screenshot of this website, Gong.io, and it's going to pass that screenshot into a vision model. It's an image to text model from OpenAI, and it will analyze the CTAs. I will then later get the agent to use these CTAs in my cold email. So for example, in Gong's case, this is an interesting sales-assisted product-led growth model. We have worked with other companies who had a similar business model. And so we know how to support Gong. How can we prospect within the user base, and how can we turn some of the Gong users who might have enterprise company backgrounds into sales opportunities in the sales pipeline. So that's why we have this tool here. Again, this is highly custom to my use case, but you can equip your agent with any tool you prefer. And finally, it retrieves relevant social proof using this tool. So this tool will visit the knowledge base that I have in Relevance AI. I'll show this to you in later videos. We have 6 clients in that knowledge base with the pain points and the statement of work and the use cases. And then this tool will take that knowledge base, and based on what it knows about the prospect company, it's going to find the top 3 lookalike companies that are most similar to the prospect. It will talk about the similarities based on company overview and tech stack, or the countries, or the location, or the industry and the vertical. So here, for example, is FF Next, Cruiser Insight, Synovise, and Motion Score. And it will talk about the detailed use cases for all of these companies. And so the agent, when finally generates this in-depth research report, it will look at the outputs of these tools separately. It's going to synthesize them into this structured research report. So we have information about the prospect profile, their current position and role, some context about the company, the recent activities and the interest of this prospect, some information about the prospect's background, previous work experiences. If there's anything relevant we could reference in the cold emails, this might be interesting. The skills and the expertise. This is going to be interesting for finding out the jobs to be done. Like, what's the dream outcome of this person in their day-to-day? What's their motivation? What's their needs and wants? Also notable achievements. So this is great for personalized hooks potentially. So achieved 109% quota attainment and was selling in President's Club, which is great. And the timeline of events. We also have information about relevant LinkedIn posts. Notice that the agent only shares LinkedIn posts here that are relevant. So for example, the post that talks about Gong surpassing 300 mil ARR, it clearly shows that the company is growing and they might need extra hands on deck in pipeline generation and achieving aggressive growth targets. So this could be a potential personalization lever as well. We also have some information about this prospect's current challenges and objectives. This is now the agent reasoning for its pain points, its potential career goals and business objectives. And again, it's sharing the timeline of events. I have this section here that says anything else that was not mentioned above. So you'll see in my core instructions under the agent settings that this template was given by me to the agent, and the agent is filling out this template. And I have this section to give the agent the option to share anything that it thinks might be relevant for cold email personalization. And then we zoom into the company level. So we have a separate dedicated report for the company details, a quick company overview, the company innovation goals and digital transformation initiatives. These are potentially good personalization levers later down the line. A business model analysis. So this company has a B2B business model. A notable customer analysis. LinkedIn, Snowflake, and Zillow are customers. And now the agent collected that here. We have the analysis of the company website. This comes directly from the vision model. We have an analysis of the company tech stack. Google Analytics, Hotjar, Mixpanel, Act-On, HubSpot, Salesforce. So now we know that Gong uses HubSpot and Salesforce. So I could connect to these insights in my emails saying something like, we build AI agents, and these AI agents can control your CRM autonomously. So you can save a lot of time and a lot of money with CRM admin. Here again, we have this section that gives the agent the option to share anything that wasn't mentioned but might be important. So company news specifically related to AI, technology, and innovation trends. This is similar to the digital transformation initiatives. And then anything related to expansion, growth, and funding. Again, the timeline of events. This will be important because we don't want to reference something that happened a long time ago as recent. We have a section on company hiring plans and job postings. And lastly, an analysis of the lookalike companies that the agent recommends us to use in our cold emails as social proofs. And we have 3 or 4 companies here. And so this in-depth research is eventually passed back to the AI BDR. So the AI BDR can write a hyper-personalized cold email sequence to the prospect. Now let's look at the instructions and the different tools that we use in the Sales Strategist to generate this in-depth research. Let's zoom into the Sales Strategist. Let's open it up on a new tab and let's zoom into the core instructions and the different AI tools that manage this agent. This is an agent in itself, but it is part of a larger multi-agent system. It's a sub-agent in that system. And if we scroll up, we will see that this task was triggered by Tony, the AI BDR. If I click this link, I could go back to the parent agent level. And we can also expand these 16 steps that we just looked at. Now I will go into the core instructions and the agent settings in the top right corner. So under the core instructions, we define the role of this agent, which is a world-class salesperson who specializes in deep research. We tell it that it works for my company. We're passing the company name variable because I'm using this agent in a modular manner for different clients, for different campaigns, and the company name and the company description might change over time. So that's why I'm using the company name variable and the company description variable. On the template settings, we can change these very easily, and we can change the variables themselves as well. So here in between curly brackets, you can go to configure template and you can just change the variable names. Now I will go back to the core instructions. I present the company name and my company description to this agent to give it context for what it should find and also to make sense of what relevant means, because down the line in my core instructions, I tell the agent to only source relevant insights. But what is relevant? Stuff is relevant if it has to do anything with my company and what my company is offering to this prospect. And the agent will know that because it's a world-class salesperson, so that's how it can connect the dots between my company and the prospect's company. I present a few rules to follow. So no data fabrication. I always require the agent to use the right links and sources, verify a company and person match. So in some cases, the agent visits the wrong Google page because in some cases, the contact and the company are not well connected in, for example, Apollo's database. So when we scrape Apollo or when we source our lead list, often the company and the contact are no match because, for example, the contact has already moved on from that company. And in those cases, we want the research process to stop. We are not going to email that person. It should avoid any mismatched information. So this is a follow-up on the previous point. It should be very thorough. So it should do as much research as possible to gather as much information as possible. And it should scrape the URLs for more data. So this is an instruction for what to do after a Google search, for example. It should refine the search based on the findings. So if the agent has done a Google search and scraped a website and is not happy with the website scrape based on the website scrape's objective, then it has the option to conduct subsequent Google searches and website scrapes. And it has to be extremely detailed. So I want this agent to create a very thorough, in-depth research report. And here below, we present the report structure for the research topics. First, we present the context report structure. So I've divided the report into two, contact report and company report. And we start with the contact report. I've put these instructions between XML tags to have the agent differentiate between different contexts. So this is the contact report structure section start, and this is the end. And within the section, this is the report structure that I always expect the agent to come back with. You'll notice that this is exactly the same as what we've already looked at with the actual details from the tool runs. So the prospect profile, professional background, relevant LinkedIn posts, current challenges and objectives, anything else that was not mentioned. Here we close this section, and then we present the company report structure. The report on the recent company events and the lookalike company report. So the companies that the agent thinks I should use as social proof for the prospect company. Below, we open the company report structure section, which is the highest level, under which we nest these three separate sections. Again, this is exactly the same structure as we've already seen in the actual research report. So we talk about the company overview, the innovation goals, the business model, notable customers, company tech stack, and anything that wasn't mentioned. We close the company overview section, and then we open the recent company events section. So any related company news, hiring plans and job postings, or anything that wasn't mentioned. Then we close the research company events section. And finally, we open the lookalike social proof section. And this is the report structure that we expect the agent to present the lookalike social proofs for us. And finally, we provide the standard operating procedures for the agent to follow. And we reference the different tools and the order in which these tools should be run. So the agent will have to go through these steps every single time it gets triggered. It's crucial that it doesn't skip any step, and it has to go through the report structures that we presented above, step by step, to make sure that it covers every single point there. If it doesn't cover something, then it has to run a tool that it thinks will help it cover the relevant point in the report structure. First of all, it will use the Enrich User with Google and LinkedIn tool to find the contacts and the company's LinkedIn profiles and the website. And then it's going to visit the contact's LinkedIn profile to extract the LinkedIn posts and the LinkedIn profile itself. It will run a website scrape on the company's website and then analyze the website visually. That is going to visit the company's LinkedIn profile to scrape the company's LinkedIn profile and the most relevant LinkedIn posts from the company. So it's very similar to the contact LinkedIn scrape is just on the company level. And then it will do a Google search to find information about the most recent expansion, growth initiatives, investments, and product releases, raise and funding rounds, and so on. Then it will pick 2 websites to scrape. It will use the extract website content tool. And then it repeats the same in another iteration to find recent news about the company's new product releases. And then it will pick a website to extract the content. Then it does a Google search to find the customers of the prospect company. And again, use a website scrape to get more information. Then it will use the Find LinkedIn Jobs tool to find open job positions from the prospect. And then it will visit Apollo to get the technologies that this prospect company is using based on Apollo's knowledge base. And finally, it will use a Retrieve Relevant Social Proof tool to find lookalike companies. This is the knowledge retrieval step where it retrieves the most relevant companies that we have worked with. And finally, it's going to synthesize everything and present the findings in the research report format that I've defined in the core instructions, which looks like this. Well, I hope this video was helpful. Feel free to reach out to me via the comments or write me an email, drop me a message on LinkedIn. I read every single comment and all the messages. I'm creating this type of content on a weekly basis, and I want to help you learn how to build AI agents. Thanks for watching. See you later.